Adobe Bridge provides a powerful way to not only view other Adobe documents, but to find, display additional information, and even organize them. Let's take a closer look at Adobe Bridge and its capabilities. I'm beginning this video with Illustrator already open on my computer. And to open Adobe Bridge, it's actually quite simple. We can come up here to our application bar and click on the Go to Bridge button, or we could go to the File menu in Illustrator and choose Browse in Bridge. Whichever you prefer, choose one of those options and it's going to immediately jump over to the Bridge application. Now, from here, I'm going to go ahead and navigate to my desktop. Now, you'll notice in the upper left-hand corner, we have a Favorites tab, which shows you favorite locations on your computer, such as your Home folder, your Desktop, your Documents folder, Pictures folder. But you can also navigate by the Folders tab as well, and this allows you to simply navigate through the directory structure on your computer to find your files. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Favorites tab and click on Desktop, because that's where my exercise files are located. And I'm going to open that folder by double-clicking on this folder in the Content area, and then double-clicking on Chapter 3. As you can see, in this particular folder, I have only a couple of files in which to view. But the more files you have in here, they're all going to show up in this particular window. Down here in the lower right-hand corner, you can drag the slider to change the size of the thumbnails that appear in the content area. In addition, up here you have what's called your path bar, which shows you the current location that you're viewing on your computer. Now, if I click on one of these files, such as the LBV business card.ait file, you can see that I also get a preview in the preview panel. And in addition, it shows me additional metadata down here in the lower right-hand corner. Now, you'll notice even more information appear when you click on a photo, and that'll show you camera information and other information as well. In addition, in the folder that you're viewing, you can filter by file type. So in my particular folder, you can see that I'm able to filter by PDF documents. So if I click on that, it's only going to show me the PDF files. I'll turn that back off. And I can filter by Illustrator document as well. I'll turn that off as well. You can also filter by keywords, which we have none in this example. But over here in the metadata panel, if you click on a file, you can add keywords down here in the IPTC core section. So we can add creator information, description, keywords. And as you drag down even further, you'll also see the swatches that are available in this particular document. So this is telling me internal information about the file. Now, in addition, what we can do is we can organize our content by collection. So for example, in the lower left-hand corner, I'm going to click on the Collections tab. And I currently don't have any collections inside of here. So in the bottom right corner of the Collections panel, I'm going to click on the New Collection button. And I'm just going to call this the LBV collection. Now, collections are really interesting because they're virtual collections. What I can do is I can collect files from multiple different locations, but see them in one area in this collection area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the left arrow here to go back to the previous view. And I think I'm going to grab the LBV business card.ait file. And I'm going to drag it and drop it onto this collection. You can see I now have one document in that collection. Now, what I can also do is up here in my path bar, I'm going to click on the arrow to the right of exercise files, and I'm going to choose Chapter 2. And that's going to show me the content that I have available in Chapter 2. So what I'm going to do, let's go ahead and drag the Pluralist01 AI file. I'm going to add that to my collection. And let's go ahead and add the Artboards02 file to that collection as well. So I've basically added files from two separate locations. Now we can definitely do more than that as well. But if I click on this LBV collection, it's going to display the contents of the collection in my content window. And if I click on one of these files, I still can display the information that I want to see. And if I have an item in here that I don't want to include in this collection, I can always click on the button up here in the upper right to remove this from the collection. Some of the other great things we can do, we have a couple of workspaces that help us to work with our files in different ways. So for example, I can navigate to my desktop, and let's go ahead and go to the Chapter 2 folder this time. And I'm going to click on the Film Strip workspace. And what this does is reconfigures my panels to show me the content in the bottom of my workspace. But if I click on one of these, it shows me a larger version in the preview. This is also demonstrating that in the preview pane, I can navigate from one artboard to the next inside of this window. So I can see all of my different artboards if I choose to. And you'll notice I can actually click on this artboard and get a larger view. I can actually drag around to get a higher resolution view of this logo. And if I just go ahead and click again, it'll make that loop disappear. We also have a metadata workspace that's basically showing me my individual files and all the metadata associated with it. And we also have a keywords workspace that allows me to display all the keywords associated with this as well. What's nice about the bridge is that if I assign keywords to my assets, I can go to the Edit menu and choose Find and actually search by keywords for certain files, whether they're in a certain folder or on my entire computer. One note I'd like to make about this is that if you're searching on your computer, you should have pretty good performance, but if you search on a server volume, you may want to think twice because depending on your bandwidth and your network speed, it could take a while to perform that search. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the Cancel button to get out of there, and I'm going to return to the Essentials menu. Now the other nice thing is that when you do access Adobe Bridge from another application, you'll notice that you always have this boomerang icon, which will return you to the application from where you came. So I can either click that button, or I can go to the File menu and I can choose Return to whatever application I initiated Bridge from. So if I hit that boomerang icon, it's going to take me right back to Illustrator where I was. As you can see, when it comes to organizing and viewing documents, there's no better place to do it than Bridge. Give Bridge a try, and I think you'll agree that it's a valuable and powerful tool for working with your files.